Record to cloud. All right, everyone. Welcome to Review Panda or Review Management training session. The agenda, we're going to keep it kind of light, leave it open for you to ask questions and fire away. So Shah is here. He's the kind of the person driving the product for Review Panda. So any questions, whatever you love, it's him. Whatever you don't like, it's him at the same time. So
spotlight on me.
Put all on you. No. And we also have our developers on as well who are, listening in, so we can kind of, if there's nitty-gritty questions. I know some of you have dug in very deep. Like Faye has dug in very deep into it, asking specific questions, which has been great. So I guess, quick preamble before we start. A quick little explanation why we got into the review management system is Shah and myself were using GradeUs before we even jumped on board high level. GradeUs was charging, I think about at that point was $149 for 3 licenses, or it was like $20-$30 a license. On average, it was $30 a license. So on a monthly level, and at Shah's agency, we incorporated review management within his product offering for all his SMEs, all the clients that they had on board. When we introduced review management as a managed service, so the plumbers, the roofers, the electricians, the any other small business, when they offer it as a managed service, we will get you more reviews. We will take care of it for you. That's the way we approached it. We were able to sell, I think, in the first month about $70,000 worth.
Yeah.
Around $70,000 worth. And the main part was even before we got into it, we decided, was it going to be a managed service or a self-service product? We had self-service in our product offering. I think we're going to charge $97 a month for self-service. But then we decided to remove self-service as an option completely, because the issue you run into is your clients are busy. They're never going to use the product. They're not going to log in. They're not going to do what they need to do. So we didn't even offer that service because if they don't use the service after the first month or 2 months, they're going to cancel. So you're going to have a lot of attrition. If you provide a managed service, which was very easy, we just ask clients to send us a list once every 2 weeks, upload it onto the back end, then send out the emails. It was literally 10 minutes of work for about $200 that we were charging for the service to the client. So I'm mentioning the price points as well to give you some ideas. It was very easy for us to upsell clients. They were selling SEO services, Facebook ads, but this is something every client wanted because everyone wants more reviews on their for their business, because it's something visible. They see SEO will take 3 to 4 or 5 months to get results sometimes, whereas reviews, if they start seeing 5 reviews go up to 10 reviews, 20, 30 reviews, they're already in a happy state. You're already proven yourself, and you can also offer more services at that point. So that's a quick introduction of review management. But eventually, GradeUs got very expensive. We were paying thousands of dollars a month for every single client we're bringing on board. We couldn't give them trial offers or free trials because every license costs money. So we realized while we were delving into the world of high level that high level can do about 80% of what we needed the review management system to do. We were able to incorporate quite a bit within high level. So that's when we migrated, rebuilt GradeUs solution on top of high level. So that's what we refer to as review management snapshot, or as we labeled it, review management or snapshot 1.7. So our naming convention is kind of weird. We're going to fix that up because I realize it gets confusing for people, even internally between us. Do we call it ORM? Do we call it review management system? Do we call it ReviewPanda Lite? So we need to separate. We're separating the terminologies. We're going to be very solid on how we make it. The initial snapshot is built strictly on high level. Review management snapshot 1.7, that's built all on high level. We are pretty much a wrapper around high level solution. So that's why we use review high levels widget to show your Google and Facebook, because that's all the information that gets provided to us. Whereas ReviewPanda is a standalone solution that incorporates and leverages a few items of high level.
Was that $200 a month that you were saying?
Oh, so Shah's agency was charging $200 a month for a
whole. Okay, thank you.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with it? I punched it.
Someone mute their mic. 1 second, let me mute it.
Wayne.
So yeah, we were charging about $200 a month for managed services, and then And that was like, honestly, it was about 10 minutes of work. So for all the clients that you had at that point, you just have a quick follow-up email every week. Just send us your list. We would give them email signatures. We give them funnel pages. We, some, different solutions around it. It wasn't hard work to set it up initially. But so this is where it's very easy to scale. And with our solution here, with the Snapshot, you're not paying a per license fee. You're not paying a per location fee. So because of that, you can offer it as trial services, as an add-on service, as an upsell, whatever you want, even for free if you want to at the beginning, just to kind of get your foot in the door. So if you're new to the agency space and you're trying to kind of figure your way around, this is an easy solution to sell because it's instant results and instant credibility. So a lot of people are asking, like, how do I sell review management services? So on our side, we were just building up the technology side. We haven't talked much about the business side because every business does things a little bit differently. So I just want to touch on it briefly today, just to give you an idea of how you are able to incorporate within your business, how easy it is to incorporate, because reviews is something everyone wants, guaranteed. We all look at reviews. So you can position it saying, look at your reviews now, look at your competitors, a whole bunch of different ways you can position it, but it's very easy to sell to a client, a restaurant client, a roofer, any local business that you're literally people Google. You just look at the ratings. If we had some criteria, we looked at them. If they had a star rating of, I think 4.3 and less, it was very easy to pitch them. If they only had a handful of reviews, less than 15, very easy to pitch them again. If they had reviews that are old for over 2 months, again, another way of pitching them. So 3 or 4 different hooks, because Google likes to see consistency in reviews, likes to see quality reviews, and likes to see a good trend of reviews coming along. And it's a kind of a chicken egg type of situation for reviews. The more reviews you get does not necessarily influence your SEO ranking, right? There's 2 schools of thoughts here. It doesn't necessarily increase your ranking. However, because you have better reviews, you get a higher click-through rate. And because you get a higher click-through rate, Google then will attribute that to ranking you higher. It's not the reviews itself, it's the action that people take because of your reviews. So I hope that part is a little bit clear. And I guess I'll open up a little bit for questions right now. I just want to go over the agenda to give you a kind of brief difference between Review Management Snapshot, the 1.7. We talked about the old version, and what ReviewPanda is.
So like first said, 1.7, it was like pretty much 80% of what Greatest is. You can say it's 80%, 75%, whatever it is, and ReviewPanda is what we kind of like wanted to put together to kind of bridge that gap and kind of have a complete solution. And the reason why we did that is because some of our own clients, they were looking for review widgets that include reviews from different sites. They wanted to get notifications for reviews. So a lot of these features we couldn't give to our clients. So we decided to take it one step further and create the ReviewPanda. So all these products that we're releasing, a lot of them is for our own clients' needs, and we kind of build it out that way and kind of provide it to the community as well.
Can I just ask a quick question? Is version 2 1.7?
No, so when we say version 2, that means ReviewPanda.
Yeah.
I apologize for the confusion, especially when people are coming in new. We've been just tossing around terminologies for a while, so we're so used to it. We say the word ORM. We say ORM for online review management, or we say internally RMS, review management system. So even internally between Shaw, myself, and our developers, we use different terminologies. Eventually, we just stopped one day saying, okay, let's agree on the same terminology. We're all talking about the same thing, but let's say the same words. So 1.7 is original Snapshot. That is the one that...
So I just got into the system and I'd got 1.7. So have I got an old version, or do I automatically go into the new version? Or
so to clarify, anyone who has purchased the original Review Management Snapshot at whatever point they came in, it is automatically included. You automatically get grandfathered into the ReviewPanda system. So ReviewPanda, I will show you how you get access to it. So you should have access to it in your back office. In your GHL experts area, in your membership area, there's going to be a link called ReviewPanda. And that link will give you access to the new system. They're 2 separate systems. They're 2 separate snapshots. So you're either using one snapshot on your account or the system with the snapshot. They both do similar things, but if you have, for example, you have an existing account with the original snapshot, everything's running smoothly, everything works great, you don't have to touch that account because it works great. There's nothing, your clients are happy with it, everything is fine. But for new clients that you have on board, you can offer them new services on the ReviewPanda system. You can offer them video reviews. You can offer them offline reviews. I created a little mini slide right before our call just to differentiate. Let me just share my screen. It's a very crude diagram, but just give you an idea. And I think we're correct here. So in GHL, where we want to just clarify some of the differences in GHL, you would have to plug in your client's, Facebook account and their Google account, their Google My Business, in order to get access to the reviews. In order to pull those reviews, you would need to have their authentication. So either they would log in and authenticate their email, they would give you the email, or it's connected through your business manager or your Google My Business profile. Then you would get access into High Level, and that's how you'd be able to pull the reviews. They have Facebook and Google only. There's no reviews, video reviews, no offline reviews. They don't offer segmentation. The notifications will clarify. I think they're working on a few of them in terms of notifying you back. There's no agency level controls on every account. You have to do it. And their widgets display 2 review sites. So it's Facebook and Google.
And just to be clear, is there any place where the star rating aggregates so we can see, excuse me, our overall in that, or no?
You mean on our system?
On either one, on 1.7 or ReviewPanda?
So aggregate, no, not yet. So ReviewPanda, well, that's part of our dashboard that we're rolling out. You'll have everything integrated within. So the migration path. So initially what we did was with the Review Manager Snapshot, as I mentioned, was kind of a replica of Grade Us to a certain point, what we can do around High Level. So we ran into a lot of limitations. We had to work off of whatever data feeds they're giving us because we didn't have our own database. We had to rely upon High Level's database. Now with ReviewPanda, we have our own database. We have access to another stream of review sites through DataShake. That's integration that you would have to plug in. And if you want video reviews, another integration as well. But again, the costs are very minimal overall, because if you were to do this on a sub account level with any other provider like Gradus or Bird Eye or any of the other bigger players, they'd be charging a minimum $60 now per agency, per license, per account. So it might be blended in their cost there for the review sites, but you'd be paying $60 per account. You have 20 accounts, you're looking at $1,200. In this case over here, you pay one time to DataShake for the API feed, and depends. You might prepay it. You get credits and get like 10,000 credits, and depending how many accounts you have, but it breaks down to such a negligible cost overall that you're making your money back after the first client that you bring on board. Video reviews as well, very limited, depends how you set it up. So let me just clarify a little bit more of the difference and I'll open up some more questions. So there's no offline reviews. Offline reviews, we mean a way to collect reviews that are not tied to a third-party website. So it's not posted on Google site or a Facebook site. So they're posting directly, and now these are reviews you can do whatever you wish with, because now they're reviews that are tied, or you collect it, so you're technically the owner of that review. Segmentation as well. High Level is not going to be offering segmentation. It's a business decision. It's also, so it depends on where you fit on this area. Some people consider review gating. Gradus offers it, other people offer it. Just you have to do it within a certain limitation and make sure it's done. So we follow the standards of ensuring that we don't fall outside of those rules. But we also offer non-segmentation funnels. So you come to a funnel page, it'll be directly, there's no rating. You don't rate the client. You just go straight to reviewing. And the widgets right now, currently in the original Review Manager Snapshot, we only can show you 2 review sites in terms of their actual reviews, because we're pulling those reviews from High Level's review widget. So we're just pulling information and showing on our widget. On ReviewPanda, we are not we don't require you to actually authenticate Facebook and Google. You just plug in the URLs, and through our API, it scrapes the data and pulls it into our database, and we can display it onto the screens. Video reviews as well, through camera tag. That's the other connector. That's what the big players like. What's it? Boast.io.
Yeah, Boast.io uses camera tag.
Camera tag, and they charge what, $79 a month or something.
I think it's 16 per. I'm not sure actually. I forgot their pricing model. I think they even increased it recently.
So GHL was using Boast.io or AI initially to collect reviews as well. But again, if you're trying to scale that up, it's going to be costly on a per location model, whereas we provide you an access to one API, and it's only on usage across your client base. Offline reviews, again, segmentation we offer, notifications when you get a negative review or any review coming back. We're working on more granular controls based on feedback. That's rolling out pretty soon. So we allow you to control all your sub accounts through ReviewPanda link through our agency login. And widgets, we can display any of the 80 review sites on one widget. And just some of the things that are coming up that we're working on pretty soon is social sharing. I know people want to be able to share onto Twitter, onto Facebook. So these are things that we're working on. We're going to have a consolidated dashboard.
So just to touch on social sharing, it's actually going to be automated social sharing. So you don't have to go in and click on share like you do in high level currently. You can just like set your criterias, and as long as your your ReviewPanda platform is connected to your client's Facebook and Twitter page, it'll automatically share those posts, and will also allow you to share a image as well. So there's going to be a place where you can kind of modify an image and share it that way, which is going to make it look a lot better. I know a lot of these other review sites like RepCahuna does that.
Is there a timeline for that?
It's in the works. We're working with our developers currently. What we're doing with our developers is kind of cleaning up the system that we have right now and making sure everything works as smooth as possible. We have like a well-oiled machine, and then from there we'll just add to that. We don't want to start adding and then have everything crumble in the future. So I can't really, for anything that's coming soon, there really isn't a timeline, but these are all in the works. Sorry, you can continue for.
Yeah, I'll just add on to this, and we'll start answering some questions here.
Yeah.
So review response system. So what that means is within the ReviewPanda system, any review that comes in, you can respond back directly to the review. So that we'll have to, at that point, either you're going to be having to authenticate your user's account, so Facebook or Google, similar to what High Level does. Or if you want to respond back directly to the review, you click on a link, will bring you directly to the review itself, and then you would log in and respond back. So different options available. Grade Us Migrator. So those who are coming from Grade Us, we had quite a bit of demand for that as well. We came from Grade Us, so we had to migrate. I think how many accounts? Over 80, 90 accounts at that point. Oh no, we were.
I think it was more than that. It was definitely over 100. I can't even.
Over 100 something accounts. I forget what it was. So we had to set up every account one by one by one. It was a very tedious, time-consuming task. But now through APIs, we can just plug and play, port everything in, set it all up. This is something that we will also be building out, is a client self-service interface. So on a sub-account level, your client will have their own little interface to where they can click on and kind of manage their review, see the reviews, respond back to the reviews, see their dashboard. So it's going to be embedded within High Level, and it's going to kind of feel native to within it. So your clients can manage it on their own if you want to offer that service. The widgets we already have widgets, so we're going to be kind of updating some more of the widgets, get more functionality, and we have videos being incorporated within the widgets, and we also have offline reviews and the third-party reviews. And multi-location, that's something that's included in the original Snapshot. It was fairly straightforward to do over here, but within ReviewPanda, it gets a little more complicated. It's something we have in the pipeline, and we are working on that. So I think that covers the differerences, and I hope I went pretty quick. I know I talked pretty fast here. So let's answer some questions. Shaw, let me just unshare my screen. If you see any questions in the chat or anyone wants to jump in.
Okay, so let's read through the chat. So Faye is asking, I have some specific questions about importing unsubscribes. I want to remove some steps, drip questions. All right, so I think basically what you want to talk about is how to modify the snapshot to something custom of your own. So what we suggest, unless you want to clarify that, Faye.
Yeah, I would like to start with the unsubscribes first. So I'm migrating as well from Grade S. And so in Grade S, I have a fairly large database of unsubscribes based on client account. And because we're going to be using Go High Level for other marketing for the clients besides reviews, I want to have the ability to mark all the unsubscribes for the review portion upon import. And I'm wondering, is there a specific indicator that I need to, a tag I need to select that gets those unsubscribes in the system correctly?
So from what so these people, so you're importing a large list of clients from your system or your marketing agency, and a portion of them unsubscribed from receiving any review requests, correct?
Previously, correct.
Oh, that's a great question. Currently, there isn't a way to filter that, but you can add a new custom field and modify the trigger. It's something that you can do by customizing the snapshot itself. So all you would need to do is add a custom field. So for instance, something like, unsubscribe or something. And then on the trigger itself, I think there's a couple of triggers that we use for sending out review requests. It would just check and see if that field is equal to a certain value, and if it is equal to a certain value, then go forward and send the review request. If it's not equal to a certain value, if it's not equal to that specific value, then just stop it right there. So it would have to be done through the trigger, and it's something that isn't incorporated into the system because it is pretty specific. It's maybe something we can add in the future.
I
but
completed this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had the same issue, but I was using Constant Contact or something where it tells you who unsubscribed. So I was able to add a tag unsubscribed and not use those people.
Yeah, you can definitely do it that way as well. It would have to be done in the trigger though, in my opinion. Like, or what you can do is no, you can't. It would definitely have to be done in the tags, because if you want to kind of send a review request, and a custom value, because if you want to send a review request in the future to a client, you don't want it to one of the clients that already exists in your database, in your contacts table. You would need to reference that custom field, I believe. But it's something I'd probably want to look into and just test myself.
Okay, if you don't mind testing that and then letting me know the specific triggers that we'll need to modify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And then my next question that I have is about, sorry, I was trying to find my questions here. My next question that I have is about removing steps. And so we have clients that do not want to get more than 2 reminder text. So I want to be able to remove the 3rd reminder text, and I want to make sure that's okay for just to delete that step directly out of the snapshot.
Yeah, so for campaigns, you can modify them as needed. They won't break anything. You can add steps, you can remove steps. You can change the sequence of waiting a couple of days or waiting longer or waiting less time. You could be a little more aggressive that way. So for campaigns, there is no, it won't break anything. So you can go ahead and modify them as needed.
Okay, and then the next one question I have is with the review check-in button. When we select those, it automatically is setting up, if the customer selects email and text, it's setting up a drip feature. But what we've noticed is that some clients, the review email and the review text go out immediately. And other instances, a email goes out immediately and the review is delayed by a certain number of hours. In one case, almost as much as 24 hours. Is that how that's supposed to trigger?
So on the SMS campaign, if you open up the SMS campaign at the very top and you go to campaign management, let me just take a look real quick. There is a time constraint on the SMS, and the reason why you put that there is, emails can come in late at night, but someone getting a text message at midnight or 1 a.m. might really tick them off, and they might just have a bad taste in their mouth. So it's something that I have for our own agency, and I kind of put it in there as a static kind of feature, but it's
Okay.
something you can modify yourself. I'm just going to go to the thing and I'll tell you exactly what. I'm just going to open it up over here on
Yeah,
my end.
we do it during working hours so that we can respond if needed.
Yeah, that's a good approach to take.
Actually, there are laws against texting people like in the middle of the night and stuff.
Yeah, that too. So
You'll
you
get
definitely
your
don't want to get into
account will
trouble.
get shut down. Yeah.
Let's see over here. What do I have it set as? SMS strip, campaign configuration.
Oh man, I'd be pissed if I got a text at 3 a.m. from a company.
Yeah, same.
You're gonna leave a
So
beautiful review then.
Exactly.
if you, hey, Peter Michaels, what's up, man? If you go to campaign configuration, on the SMS strip campaign, it's set to Monday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Can you just share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
I think by law you can go to 9 o'clock if you had to. I believe 9 o'clock's the.
Yeah, I don't know if it differs per state or per area, but I think from 10 to 5 is something that's like
Yeah, that's safe.
not too,
Yeah, it's safe.
yeah. I don't know if you guys see my screen.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. So SMS strip. If you go to campaign configuration, when Monday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's pretty much it.
Yep, that makes complete sense. I just didn't know where to look to see what was causing that. So I wanted to be able to give a clear explanation to my team because they're testing it. They're like, hold the phone, this isn't working. And I'm like, let's just wait, we'll see. And then of course the text came in. So I appreciate that, guys. You're doing a great job and the system is working really good so far in our test. So I appreciate that.
Just to add on over here. So if anyone wanted to change the time interval when the SMS goes out, it's like immediately, then 3 days later, then 4 days later. If you want to change it day 1, day 2, day 3, you change it right here in the templates. And if you want to change the content in the templates, just click edit, change the content.
If you want to change the content, you actually have to go into the SMS and email templates and then modify them from here.
Yeah, so you can change any of the content you want. This is just boilerplate. Then if you, depending on the verbiage we're using, you don't like it, you want to change to something that's more specific to your client base. That's what you would do over here. So you can change the time constraint, and you can also change the content itself.
You could delete them, add more. It's entirely up to you. None of this will break any of the other automations that we have. Once a campaign runs its course, in this case, it'll trigger the next campaign, which is completed. So it doesn't matter if you're adding another 10 more SMS messages or removing 1 or 2.
Right. So this is the section you were telling me earlier. I could just delete this third SMS and be done with it.
Absolutely. And then you
Okay,
probably want to modify the second one so it kind of has an ending to it, like a complete, thank you for whatever it is. You probably want to modify the verbiage a little.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
If they respond to these, does it I take them out of the campaign?
Yeah. Stop on response.
Okay. Perfect.
And I have allow multiple because if for instance you want to send them another campaign, another drip after a couple of days or a month or 2 or whatever it is, you have that opportunity. You have that option there, but you can modify this as needed.
Cool.
I don't know. Does that answer all your questions, Faye?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, no worries. Does managed service include replies to negative comments, or does the client handle all the questions? So I'm guessing this is referring to the managed service that my agency covers. Is that correct, Hans?
That's right.
Yeah. So because we're charging a premium of $200 $250 a month, and in some cases we would prepay them for a year, we would 100% manage their replies to their reviews, and it's really not that hard. I mean, a lot of the replies are boilerplate, so you can have a set amount of replies, you know what I mean, and just pick whatever's best. A lot of the times it's thank you for reviewing us. Your feedback is important for our company, and a lot of the other times for negative reviews is like, hey, can we get in touch with you and rectify this issue, so
Okay.
yeah. And then you'd probably want to ask your clients if there's anything you'd want to anything you'd want to mention in a review reply or something you don't want to mention. So that's something we did in our agency, and it worked well. It's more hands-off, and a lot of clients don't want to put in the work. They don't want to log in and reply to reviews. So having us do all that work for them, which really takes a few minutes, it really has them staying with us for a longer time.
Okay. Thank you.
So just on that real quick, if you don't mind, so currently you would log into the review platform, Google, Facebook, or Yelp to reply, but with the coming upgrade, you'll be able to reply in ReviewPanda. Is that accurate?
Directly in ReviewPanda, absolutely. And Fur also mentioned that there's going to be a client-side section. The client-side section will also have an opportunity to respond to reviews. But again, you would need to authenticate Facebook and Google, because that's the only way we can actually reply to reviews. Which, I mean, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. If you have a good relationship with your client, authenticating through Google and Facebook is not that hard.
With the with the 80+ sites, then is there authentication required there as well with the extended list?
Oh, well, yeah, no, the extended list, I mean, we won't, the replying to reviews is strictly going to be Facebook and Google. I think we can probably integrate Yelp too. I think DataShake actually has that functionality. We need to explore that a little more, but yeah, that 100% Facebook and Google. Yelp, TBD. We're not sure yet.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
No problem.
Sure. Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Hey, it's Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, you got a new background there. Looks pretty cool.
yeah. Green screen and
nice.
I spent a whole $19. Anyway, thank you. Anyway, I came late, so I don't want to. I'll be sensitive. I don't want to make you go backwards. But just two questions that was just said.
Yeah.
Is there another? There's another. Something about an upgrade you were talking about to be able to reply internally to reviews. Is that is that now? Is that later? Is that?
Yeah, no, that's coming soon. Like we touched up on a few features that we're working on that are coming in the near future.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say near future. I'm just saying in the future, sometime in the future, right? And I did mention, someone was asking for a timeline. I did mention that I don't want to give timelines, and I don't want to adhere to any timelines, because at the moment we're working on what we currently have, and we want to have a well-oiled machine before we start adding parts. Like if we start adding different functionalities to something that's not well oiled, like things are just going to start crumbling down. And the thing is, like, the platform itself, as we add more users, it just adds more complexity to it. And that's kind of why we stopped bringing new users in onto the platform and stopped any sort of sales. We just want to make sure we have a solid product with a solid foundation before we start bringing new clients in and adding new features.
No, sure. I mean, again, and I'm you guys, I know how hard this has been for you.
Just to touch up on one thing. Another thing is whenever we're adding new features, having the having you guys update a snapshot is such a pain for you guys. So what we so this is something that we've discussed recently, and this is something that we're glad we discussed this now with like everything closed, as opposed to having things open and having to deal with hundreds of clients using our platform. What we're going to do is we're going to be modifying the snapshot even further, where all the funnel pages are going to be managed through our system internally. This way, if ever we need to push any updates, it's one less thing that you guys need to do in order to we're removing that part of updating the snapshot. And maybe in the future, what we're going to have is you're strictly only going to have to update a snapshot for either content updates or triggers or custom values. And even for custom values, we can push that out ourselves as well, because we have access to your API through our system, so we can push new custom values onto your snapshot ourselves. So yeah, we're kind of working on like making it so it's a lot simpler for you guys whenever you're updating to the newest version. It's a very tricky situation for us because it's not like we can just click on a button and just like update everyone's snapshots. It's something you guys have to do on your end,
Right.
and but it's something we're working on our side.
No, that's fine. So just the two quick questions I had was, I know there was one thing regarding not sending someone a review request like back to back, having like be able to space that out. Is that in this version now, or where?
I know that's something you did mention in the last meeting, and it is something we have planned for the future. It is a little tricky because we need to have a way. We can't. I don't think we can do this directly in high level, so it needs to be done between high level and our current system. So it's going to be a little back and forth, but I know we can probably figure something out and kind of have.
Maybe you could put a
that.
tag if someone's been sent a review request. Add a tag that's happened, and then 60 days or 90 days later remove that tag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something like that.
Absolutely. So like I said, it's going to be something that we're going to need to kind of like communicate between our system, our external system, and the ReviewPanda system and high level. So in the ReviewPanda system, you'll set your criterias, and then on the snapshot on high level, we'll have like a check to check certain things, and then once it hits that certain criteria, it'll update that contact. We'll remove the tag, or add them, or whatever the case is. So it's something we're brainstorming, and we're going to add in the future iterations for sure.
That's fine. And last thing, and then I'll move on, is the version that's currently so I've held back because I knew you guys were working on stuff. I've held back installing it. So right now, I've removed the old version. I'm clean. My install. Is the version that's there now to install, is that like ready to go? And I mean,
so we added a new indicator right now. So on the custom values, whenever you import a version, you'll see a new custom value with a version number. And this is something that we need for our internal support staff, as well as for you guys and for our system as well. So how we're going to handle versions now is whenever you guys import a new snapshot, the custom value is going to include, there's going to be a new custom value that's going to include the version number. I think, just to answer your question, I think as it stands right now, we've fixed a lot of bugs. I'm pretty confident in letting you know that you can import the latest snapshot and start using that with your clients. I would say maybe use it for one client and kind of like roll with it and see how things are rolling. If you have questions, if you have like, suggestions or whatever it is, send them to us. And then once you feel comfortable with that one client and how things went from start to finish, then start onboarding your other clients as well,
Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, if you said to me, hey, Tuesday we're releasing another version, I just wait already, till next week, whatever. So, I mean that's fine, and I know it's going to be a move. Look, it's always going to be a moving target. There's always going to be something that has to get.
I think so. Just to touch up on that question. So the only other change we're going to be doing in the near future, and that's going to be for email notifications. So I know one agency asked if we can send notifications for reviews to a different email. So we're going to be adding that in the RMS dashboard. So if you upgrade to the new version on the RMS dashboard, on the ReviewPanda dashboard, you'll have an option to forward all notifications to a different email. So for instance, if you don't want to bombard your client with like, hey, new review, send it to your own email or maybe another email, the notifications email, then you can send it there. So that's something we're going to be adding shortly. So maybe if you want to wait until maybe mid next week when we update that, then wait till then. But apart from that, I think functionality wise, we have a working system that you guys can start using.
Is the structure in place for me? Because my whole model is triggering review requests based off of events from a third-party system, right? All API driven.
Yeah,
So is that's all right? That there's no problem.
100%. That's something you could have done from the get-go, because it's all trigger based. So just zap it in and add the specific tag, and you're good to go. Your clients are getting a review request.
Okay, thank you.
No
Appreciate it.
problem.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go through the chat some more. So to be clear, if we have ReviewPanda standard version 2.07, March 29 is the new plan.
Yes. So ReviewPanda is the standalone solution. We call it ReviewPanda, and the other one, the original one, is Review Management Snapshot. So in this case here, V2.07, March 29th. So everyone asked for updates for the dates. So now we're putting dates in, because when you import something, you have no control over, you can't edit it. So now we're putting dates down whenever we refresh a snapshot on our side, and we feel it's a fine, this is a importable version. We will update the snapshot. Sometimes we'll make small updates to the snapshot, and we'll update it on our side, and we're not going to announce it everywhere. Isha, you're sharing your screen still.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
So yeah, we're not going to announce if it's very small updates right away, because we don't want to bombard everyone every week with updates. But when we make something significant, that's when we will email everyone at the same time, but we'll post in the group. So we're going to make sure everyone finds out about the updates. We're going to post in the group. We're going to update in the members area. We put in our change log, but the emails are going to happen when there's something significant, not trivial things.
Yeah, you guys jumped the gun on that naming convention, huh?
Really did.
Yeah,
we're so focused on like features and like creating we just like completely disregarded like a lot of stuff that we shouldn't have. Adding the change log is something that was suggested too, so that's something we've added recently too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Can I just confirm on that last point you were talking about there? I got into this fairly recently, so I've got looking at my dashboard, I've got ReviewPanda 1.7. So it's ReviewPanda, but it's not. Is that the current version, or have I got
Oh man!
You guys have to explain the name change.
I think you need a screenshot of the two.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna create a chart, just explain it. So just to quickly recap, it's a great question, by the way, and we're gonna apologize for this, because our whole goal was, we had Review Management Snapshot initially. I already had a ReviewPanda website that was on Great. I was like, let's rebrand this whole thing, called ReviewPanda. We'll make it super easy to manage. We'll call this one ReviewPanda Lite and Standard. And then somewhere it got convoluted along the way. People didn't understand what the difference between two versions were, because they're radical shifts. One is a standalone solution, one is a snapshot. So because of that, we decided, or I decided, on my own here, it's like, I need to separate the two. We cannot call them both ReviewPanda anymore, because it's too confusing. Because everyone comes along saying, I have ReviewPanda. Then we're trying, which version? They go, I don't know which version. Then it becomes a whole complicated conversation. So it goes back 2 or 3 conversations until we get to the answer. So now, if you have 1.7, you don't have ReviewPanda. You have the original Review Management Snapshot that's built on high level. That's a snapshot that we've been building up and improving over the last year. If you have ReviewPanda 2.0 or 2 point something, then it's ReviewPanda as a standalone solution that is incorporated within your platform. To get ReviewPanda, you must have a GHL Experts membership account. Free, a paid one, it doesn't matter. You just need a membership account with us, so we can activate ReviewPanda in your back office, because there's lots of, there's code and videos for you to grab from there. We need one central area for you to get it. And sometimes people are asking, how come not everything's incorporated real time within the platform? Or, GHL Experts is on WordPress. It's a WordPress solution. We're not WordPress developers, nor do we plan to be. We're not trying to make this a super sophisticated platform, the GHL Experts one. We're using it for the core functionality of the membership area. And sometimes if someone upgrades to lifetime membership, they have to contact us. Then we just have to activate the Review Management Snapshot for them. So in your case, you should have a ReviewPanda link in your members area in the GHL Experts back office. And if you click on the link and you're logged in, you should have access to everything. If you click on the link and it says you need to upgrade, then it's not enabled. And you just simply notify us and we will enable it for you. I believe it's enabled for you.
So I've got ReviewPanda in the dashboard. And Faye was really helpful. I've got a big shout out for helping me to clarify some of the points on there and get that set up. So ReviewPanda is the tool I will use to do reviews for multiple clients, and everything will go through there. I don't need to send the snapshot out to them unless I'm giving them a single standalone on their own.
No, so the snapshot.
Right?
Yeah, correct. So so ReviewPanda, you have one login, has a simple setup for your API access, connect your data shake, connect your get camera tag. We're not going to technicalities of the setup in this call. This is more of a Q&A. So this one over here, when you create all the sub accounts, it'll push automatically to the sub account, the snapshot, and you have some basic configuration to do. And your clients don't have access to anything here on the ReviewPanda side because it's a managed service. Everything's done through the agency level for you.
Excellent.
And everything feeds in, they'll get their reviews. That's why we mentioned we're building on a customer portal on a sub account level in the future. But it's not a big priority for us because the reason it's a priority just because you want to see the reviews to a certain point. The clients want to see it, but there's more value in you offering it as a managed service than a standalone service because clients are not going to log in. Like we have. Out of the 100+ clients that we sold the grade us to, I think only one client at that whole time asked if it was possible for him to be able to manage his own reviews. One out of 100+, because everyone else didn't care. They just say, "Get me the results, show me the results." That's all they care about.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Is there or will there be a video explanation or like a
for what part?
for ReviewPanda, like
The
to
setup?
show
Explainer video?
no.
Explainer?
video.
Yeah, there will be.
Okay.
We're changing our dashboard interface a little bit. We're cleaning it up. We don't want to go through 2 or 3 explainer videos. We keep saying we're almost there for the video. I get messages almost every other day saying, "Can I get you might have messaged me as well, I think. It's like, when can we see overview video? We just want to get to a point where we're saying, okay, now we can show you a nice overview video. This is what the functionality is. We have marketing collateral, we're trying to build around it as well, some diagrams. Because the ReviewPanda the original snapshot, we had
even get crack.
Yeah, I'm falling off. The original snapshot, we had a pitch deck in there. So anyone who has original snapshot in your welcome email, you'll get access to a Google Drive link. You have a pitch deck in there that you can use to sell review management services. If you haven't seen it, check the welcome email that you get. Then if you don't have access to that email, let me know. I'll re-forward it to you or send you a link. But in there, we had a pitch deck showing you how you can pitch it to your clients. So just to clarify, it's a super easy sell. It's very easy because everyone knows what reviews are. You try pitching someone SEO services, it takes forever because they go, "What do you mean? How does it work? When do I see results?" It gets complicated. But reviews is something very intimate for every single person. So are we good for your question? Good? Okay. Dashboard. Yeah, so dashboard we're working on because we also want a dashboard. We have a dashboard designer, just kind of have a nice look and feel, consolidate all the reviews, show the reviews, because that's the one thing that we lost when we moved from Grade Us over to a standalone solution with on high level, have a nice consolidated dashboard, because we were never able to do it because we needed our own database to be able to present all the information onto a dashboard. So now we have our own capability of doing so. So that is something we're working on. Bref is asking, how does ReviewPanda monitor reviews currently? So through DataShake, it has APIs that are monitoring the review sites. You can pull the new reviews. You set the frequency, how often you want to pull, how often you want to pull reviews. And it just automatically happens through the API once you set up with DataShake.
Where does that then go? Like, where does that information go when it pulls?
When it pulls, it goes into ReviewPanda. In the backend, you'll see reviews, and you'll see all the reviews that came in.
Got it. And then is that showing on the client side then?
No, not on the client side. This is only on your side right now.
Okay. And can I then report on that? Is there a way to push a report or just copy and paste the screen? Or...
You could take screenshots. You can copy and paste it for now, but eventually it's one of the things we want to be able to provide a management type report. So you can provide at the end of the month, here's a report of everything that went through. We have so many different things we want to work on. Obviously, we have limited resources for this stuff here. Our resources are spread across all the GHL experts, any of the support that we're providing. And at the same time, we unfortunately or fortunately, certain point, we deal with overflow support questions from GHL itself. People come to us asking us for GHL specific questions. It has nothing to do with high level. I mean, it has nothing to do with us at all. But they come to us asking, how do I install a snapshot, not our snapshot, any snapshot? So we're having to field a lot of general.
Hey man, it's in the name. It's in the name. GHL expert.
I know. So brand ourselves in that way.
Can I just pop up with a couple of quick questions? Hopefully it'll help some other people as well. But like, I jumped in early, I didn't do much with it, and now I'm excited because it looks like next week Shaw's going to add that email notification. It'll be a good time to start really going after it with ReviewPanda. So it's trigger based. I heard you mention that earlier. So basically, from the actual fulfillment side, it's a matter of client, get us the list. Here we go. We'll upload the list and we'll drip out the campaigns to get you more reviews. Or they click the button and then that triggers a campaign to get more reviews. That's it, right? I mean, that's a simple.
It's very simple in that way. So in the end, if we want to work our way backwards, we provide a funnel page your clients can direct people to on their website, on their email signature. Some people, I have a restaurant client, so I printed out restaurant cards for him. So at the cash, if someone had a great experience, they would hand them a card. Would you mind leaving us a review? It would then because for restaurants, just for those who are in the restaurant space, you don't know their name, phone number, or email. So how do you ask them to give you a review? Google sends notifications sometimes. Hey, well, how's your experience? Would you leave a review based upon your GeoIP? They know that you went there. But if you want to, kind of push them to leave a review, I was there with one of the managers one time. I gave him a stack of cards. He just walked up to the table. They're having a great time. Would you mind leaving us a review? They just dropped the cards there. And they're sure, no problem. They're just sitting there on their phone. We put a QR code. They scanned it. They left a review. So in that, out of a group of 8 people, he had 6 reviews within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So for restaurants,
part of it. Yeah. Go ahead.
So for offline business, like a restaurant where you have no access to any information and they're very quick, you judge who you want to give a card to, and then they'll leave a review. So I printed it through VistaPrint. You just embed a QR code, put the logo, put the URL. That's for the funnel. So that's a simple way to bring people onto the website. Then they can leave a review for Facebook or Google, whichever ones you want. Sometimes, so depending on how you are as a marketer, where you fit here, Yelp is annoying for restaurants. And the fact that you're giving a card out and soliciting a review to Yelp could fall under Yelp's, no solicitation policy. You're not asking for reviews at all for Yelp. Like that's their whole policy. So it's up to you how you fall on that side. But in general, you're not asking for a Yelp review. You're just asking for reviews in general. And if they chose Yelp, that's up to them. Right.
And that's the beauty of it too, because like with the snaps, with ReviewPanda and the QR code, I totally forgot about that. But bring them to the website, whether if it's like a less than a 3-star, then they send a direct message for feedback. And if it's above that, it goes and pushes directly to the review platform that they selected.
Correct. And and as the agency setting it up for them, you can specify which review sites. And it's going to be honestly, everyone's going to be Google if you're a local business. But if you fall under more niche service like dentistry or some of the med spas, they have some certain niche businesses or niche websites that you'll want to push reviews to. So one of the points that's actually someone brought up last week, it was a great point that we had something in our original Review Manager Snapshot, it didn't carry over, is the ability for them to add additional websites. So we have 80 plus. But what if you have a specific niche website that you want to have added to your funnel? So something we're incorporating pretty soon as well, because that is something that we missed because now we have 80. We're like, oh, we thought we covered it all. But no, there's going to be unique websites that you're going to want to incorporate. So obviously we're not going to be able to pull data from those websites because it's not incorporated within the API. But the goal is to get more reviews, not necessarily pull more review response, or not pull more reviews in necessarily. It's more about driving more reviews to the website. So if you have a Dr. MD type of website that's not in the 80, you just plug in the logo, the URL where you want to send them to. So on the funnel page, they'll have Google, Facebook, and that unique logo that you provided and the link where they go.
Right.
We're just trying to simplify the process to push people to where you want to push them to. And I think you had one other point you mentioned. So yeah, just to clarify on this, if you're running we always hear the term DR campaigns, database reactivation campaign. So in this case here, you're running a review campaign. It's the same concept. You're going to get a list. upload the list into the GHL, and then tag it according to, do you want to send them an SMS or email? Do you want to just send them an SMS, or do you want to send them an email? It'll add them to the specific campaign you want to send it off to. It's easy as that. So if you have a list, just upload, press submit, it'll fire away, then it's going to drip out. You might get, influx of reviews every time you do it. And if it's more passive, organic, it'll be pushing people to the funnel page based upon some type of activity.
Right, gotcha. And I think last question would be, is there trainings on this sort of stuff as well, just about the fulfillment implementation in the, I know there's a setup video, but is there anything else like with kind of that fulfillment piece, like just getting it all moving and the actual operational stuff?
We didn't necessarily cover the business side as a standalone video pitch. So that's why we're trying to do some of the more of these, because we get a lot of questions asking, how do I sell the service? We didn't really, because we're not selling a master class or a mastermind here of how to do this stuff. But we're just selling the software components, the solution around it. But we realize we're getting a lot of questions of how to actually sell it, how to position it. So we're hopefully trying to do a few more of these sessions ongoing, just to handle Q&A, because if we have a video, you'll get some basic information. But if we do open Q&A sessions like this, you might learn a lot more quicker.
Sure. No, this has been good. Really helpful.
Sure.
Thanks.
Is there an upgrade path from RMS to ReviewPanda? Or will there be?
Upgrade, you want to, so you mean
Migrate.
From a technical point of view?
Yeah, just to migrate, because I currently I installed RMS this week and started it on one of my customers, and then I got ReviewPanda and I'm like, shit, I should have waited. But is there a way to migrate? Or
I don't think we have a migration path per se. There's two separate. They're really two separate solutions using high level and different capacities.
So what would be my best option? Just stop RMS now, clean it up, and then build ReviewPanda.
Well, it really depends on your needs. I mean, if you feel like you need all the extra bells and whistles of ReviewPanda, then sure, yeah, just I would say stop it. You will incur a small additional cost, obviously, with the data shake and
not
camera tag cost. But if you don't need all the bells and whistles, all the additional features, then you can continue using the current snapshot.
Well, the good thing is that I set it up in drip mode, so I have like 20 going out a day, because this is a new account, so I didn't want a Mailgun or a Twilio to block me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only had like 150 go out. I have thousands, so
okay,
probably be a good thing to stop now
or just create a new account, right? And parallel
for that same customer.
Yeah, and then you can have the other one running and see which one you prefer.
ReviewPanda.
Just ReviewPanda.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So the beauty is, high low doesn't charge you per location. Yeah. So now it's up to you how you want to. You might want to stop on one and continue on the other, or just let this one play out, because in the end, if you don't need those, as Sean mentioned, you don't need those additional bells and whistles, then you can just let it run out. And for new clients, you can set up on the other one.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so when will the form have a refresh button? Yes, our developer has that in queue. It's a very relatively simple fix.
Wait,
so
what is this? Can you?
So the review request form.
Yeah.
So that anyone, outside of logging in, review request form. Okay, how do you want to send a review? Do you want to send a review by email, SMS, or both? Right?
Yeah.
When they press submit, it brings them just to a thank you page. They want a way of just saying, go back to the page, the previous page, or submit and go back. So because if you want to send like 10 in a row,
that's already in there. I believe it was Glenn or someone who requested that last week. We did add that in. Sorry, not last week. Last time we had a conversation, we did add that in there. So what happens is after like X amount of time, it'll refresh and go back. So if you're using the landing page on a kiosk mode at a restaurant or anywhere, as soon as you enter the information, it'll say thank you, and then it'll refresh and go back to the main page, the main form. So if you import the latest snapshot, that feature should be active.
Okay, so that was for Clay. We'll review that as well, make sure. And Joseph, if I want to offer review management to my customers, am I buying the Snapshot or Panda? I am confused. How much are they? So it depends where you are right now. We're not actually selling ReviewPanda by itself at all right now. It's for our existing customers who have bought the original Review Management Snapshot. They've been migrated or grandfathered into ReviewPanda as well. So no one has paid for ReviewPanda at this point of time. They bought the original Snapshot, and we've grandfathered everyone into our ReviewPanda system. So we're not selling it as a standalone solution yet. When we do sell it, which will be relatively soon, we're going to be charging $99 a month for it. But we're almost there at that point. But just as we have a back way of getting into it if you want, but it's up to you. For those who buy the lifetime deal, they get the Review Management Snapshot included. And because you have the Review Management Snapshot, you can also automatically upgrade to ReviewPanda. So it's up to you there. If you have more questions, you can message me after. Will there be a way to upgrade from ORM to RP? I think that was a question I was asked.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. I have the old Snapshot. Should I be using Review Management Snapshot or ReviewPanda? Charles, I believe you jumped off, but just to answer for the recording, they both do similar things. In the end, you're just trying to get more reviews. The Review Management Snapshot has more bells and whistles. If it's already working for your existing client, everything is running smoothly, you don't need to change that up because it works smoothly. If you plan on offering video reviews or you want offline reviews or more additional solutions like that, then for newer clients, we would recommend you move over to ReviewPanda. How do we get the ReviewPanda upgrade from the grandfather or Snapshot? If you don't have it right now, and you have the original Snapshot, just send an email to our support team. They're gonna they're gonna review that you purchased the original one, and then they're gonna upgrade you. Share the screen, show us what you're talking about. Okay.
That might have been the campaign setting for SMS. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Did the carousel widget for mobile get fixed or on the last version of Snapshot?
I'm not sure, but the carousel widget wouldn't be on the Snapshot side; it would be on the RMS side. So I believe it should be fixed. If not, please just send the support ticket so I can get one of our devs to go on and kind of take a look at that and see what the issue is.
Okay, so we're just gonna fire through the questions really quickly because we want to stay within an hour. So we're gonna wrap up like in the next 5 minutes. If any other questions afterwards, you feel free to post in the group. So
those canned replies included in the Snapshot. We don't have any canned replies in there. However, it's something we can definitely add in the newest version. I'll add it to our list. Is the ORM version still being updated as well? Yes, the ORM version is actually going to get an update shortly, and it's just going to have but it's very minimal updates. I clean up the triggers, the campaigns to put it into folders, and also the funnels as well. I also
put offline reviews as well in there.
Offline reviews as well, yeah. The notification email change is good. I think I asked this in the Facebook group already, but will there be a sales page or landing page to attract new clients? Is something that I read. Yeah, so we're actually going to be adding that in the near future, but we really want to get rid of a lot of the features out first, and then we're going to start focusing on more of the sales aspect and how to onboard new clients.
So Hans, I know you messaged me about that, and you posted in the group, and I keep telling you it's coming soon. It's literally.
I saw something with a SaaS model. Did I read that correctly? That you guys are going to have a SaaS model?
Monthly fees for ReviewPanda?
No, they call it a SaaS model, and it said something. I'll see if I can find it. If I find a link somewhere, I'll message you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let me know. Yeah, we are planning on giving you giving everyone a review website as it be incorporated with it, like part of a Snapshot in the future, and also some marketing material. But we're just pushing that down for us because we have so much work to do on the core stuff. Then eventually, as soon as all the core stuff, the features are there, then it's gonna be super easy for us to go and update all the sales material because we have all the features that we want.
You just gave me some new ideas anyways after I put that in there. So
okay, great.
That's great.
I thought the ReviewPanda has a new improved version of Review Management Snapshot originally purchased. Will you be maintaining both? Yes. Great call. Need to jump. Recording will be available. Do you need all clients create subdomain review.com? I create subdomain for one account to trial it and wonder. So this is a GHL specific question in terms of how the hierarchy is. So if you create app, or in this case, review.businessname.com in one of your accounts, and you connect it through the domain configuration through your DNS, then you can easily use that same domain in every sub account because it's already connected to your agency account. And then you would just do review.businessname.com/restaurant A. Then the next sub account will be called, dentist A, for example, because the domain's already set for your agency. But you still have to manually add the domain on a sub account level. That's a high level limitation. We have no API. We can't do it for you. So you need to go and manually add the domain in high level, but you wouldn't need to do DNS again because it's already done once. Peter, if we're on the lifetime, we are grandfathered in for ReviewPanda. Yes. So we made it super attractive for everyone, super easy. If you're on the original, if you bought the original review management snapshot, you get ReviewPanda for free. If you buy the lifetime, the original review snapshot is included within there, so you get ReviewPanda for free. So if you're on this call and you have one of the two, you have it for free, the ReviewPanda system. It's not going to be for free as soon as we launch it to the public. It's going to be a monthly fee because we got to recoup our money back because we're putting a lot of time, money, and effort on this software. So we got to start generating some revenue to cover the expenses going forward. And then we'll have new enhancements that we're working on as well. Another question about SMS and email drip campaigns. I'll just pause this one for a second. Let me just quickly scan the other ones. White label support video is going to be upgraded soon. We are so close to getting them out the door. We have one dedicated member now going through all the reviews, all the videos. I know, Paul, you asked for it. You meant you followed up. We're behind. I apologize for that. Just we're going, high level keeps updating things. So we're always trying to go back and push it all one shot. So we will hopefully, I would like to say by next week, we should have it out because we have someone we're pushing hard to get it done now. Will there be replay? Yes, it's recorded. I'm going to upload it afterwards. Is there a way to trigger off a positive review and add them to another campaign? Is there a way to trigger off a positive review and add them to another campaign? So, Paul, you want to clarify that?
I'm guessing if someone clicks on 4 or 5 stars or whatever it is, send them to a different campaign. And yeah,
the use case would be for somebody that leaves a positive review. It's prime time to send them a referral campaign. Yes,
so that's something last 2 weeks people have been I had about 6 requests in the last 2 weeks about this. It's something that we've talked about it. We've talked about it internally. We already have mapped it out. We just got to incorporate it within it. So we know. So we know what we're doing, how we want to do it. We just got to do it now.
Okay, so there will be a way to do it soon then.
Yep.
Yeah,
awesome.
We are working on that.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
No worries.
And last question. There's other questions here. So Faye, I have another question about SMS email drip. Faye, you have the last question before we end off.
So when I'm setting up drip campaigns, I notice that I only have the option to either select SMS or email. I don't have the option to select both. So my question is do I have to set 2 separate campaigns so that both of those trigger?
This is when you're importing a list of clients?
Yes.
You can add both tags.
Okay. I wasn't finding that was working, so I'll try that again. And if I run into problems, I'll put a ticket in or I'll update my post in the Facebook group.
All right. Sounds good.
Hey, Sean, don't we have one tag that covers both?
No, it was going to be a little too convoluted with multiple. And in this case, I mean, it's just the one tag specific to one channel. So, and you can add multiple tags. So it doesn't really, I didn't see the need to add another trigger for that. Yeah, adding both tags should work on both channels, but if you're having issues, feel free to send us a message.
All right. So that's a wrap for today. Hopefully this was helpful. As we have a few more things that we're rolling out, we'll probably do an open Q&A like this again. I think it was helpful for us as well to hear some of the questions and feedback from you. And that's it. Shaw, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining, and until next time. Take care, guys.